Alright my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new Planet Zoo series. I'm calling this series Let's Build Together, and essentially my friends, this is a Planet Zoo series where we are going to focus on taking one item and then building it together in an episode. This idea has basically come about because a lot of the time, you all know I do extensive Planet Zoo series on the channel and I get asked a lot in the comments to upload stuff to the workshop. Now because the way I build, I never get round to uploading stuff to the workshop, and a lot of the reason for that is when I go back in to kind of get all the pieces together to add it to the workshop, it's nigh on impossible because the amount of detail that I've been done around it. It really is that hard. But I was thinking to myself, why add it to the workshop when I could show you how I built it anyway, and then we can build it together. You might learn something, or if you're a bit of a seasoned builder, you might learn how to do some things that you might not have known how to do before. I just feel like this might be a cool little series. You know, you can load up Planet Zoo, so feel free after this little intro to pause it, load the game up, and then build along with me. Today is something relatively easy. Well, I hope it's going to be relatively easy, not only for myself, but for you to follow along with me at home as well. And we are going to be building the info boards from Tropical Wings Zoo. This is something I've been asked to put on the workshop a lot, my friends, but I think it'd be more fun if we build it together. So let's get into it. Okay my friends, so here we go. This is what we're going to be building in today's episode. These are my information posts slash wayfinders. I'm not really sure what you call these things, but these are the ones that I built in Tropical Wings Zoo. Lots of people have been asking me to add these to the workshop, and I just haven't got round to it in true, Dan style, and I just thought instead, let's build this stuff together. Now obviously you're going to see there's not many pieces, it isn't that complicated. I'm hoping this is something that we can get done relatively quickly together. The one thing I should bring to your attention though is of course the custom custom banner that I've put on there. We've done this using the screens. I'm going to go through all the pieces that you're going to need to build this in a moment before we build it together. But I've used the custom screens basically to do that. Now, obviously, that is for your interpretation. You can do whatever you want with those custom screens. But what I will bring your attention to is a video above, and it is a how-to episode. And it's how to use custom banners and how to make custom banners and how to use the custom screens, basically. Feel free to go and give that a watch if you are new to this sort of thing. It might help you. And it also kind of touches on the best way to produce the custom artwork that you can put on the banners as well, my friends. But this is what we're going to be building. Now let's move on and find out the pieces we're going to need to build this. And so here they are, my friends. There's not a lot of pieces, as you can see. Obviously, we're going to be using these pieces more than once during the course of the build, but these are the exact pieces that you are going to need during the course of today's episode. The top one is the East Asia Painted Timber Narrow End 4 meter. The next one down is the Planet Zoo Plank Thin Painted 1 meter. Then we've got the Planet Zoo Brace Anchor Plate. Then you've got the Planet Zoo Sign Bracket, and then the bottom one is the screen panel 1 meter by 1 meter screen. The top four can be found in the construction tab, and the screen can be found in the facilities tab, just so it makes it easier for you to find all the items. And then now, my friends, we can crack on with the exciting part. Let's start building, shall we? Okay, my friends, so let's get to the exciting bit. Let's start building what we're going to build today. So obviously we've got our pieces there. We know they're the pieces that we're going to use. Obviously, I'm going to leave them there and we are going to use them, but I'm going to show you exactly how I build it. So we won't always be picking from this side, but we will start by picking the very first object, and it is, of course, going to be the Planet Zoo Brace Anchor Plate, and we're going to use that first because that is going to be what holds up the structure. I like to build for realism, so a lot of the stuff I'm probably going to be showing you in this series is going to be more realistic than it is sort of fantasy, but let's start with that piece there. Now what I will do is I'll just raise it up. You will see this piece has notches on the bottom, so what I tend to do is just rotate it, get those notches towards the floor, and then I just sink them, and then that usually gives me about the level that I want. Now you can go deeper than that if you should wish, but this is the level that I'm going to go with. Now the next bit I would do is obviously click on the brace, press Control X. Obviously, that'll bring up your little gridded section, and then we are going to now place the East Asia painted timber piece next. There we go. This is the one we want. The narrow end. This one here. Now, I know I could have picked from there, but I want to show you how I actually build the item. And then you can build along this way if you so wish as well. Now, you actually need 2 of these on the build. And we're going to build it so that the screens are kind of facing the front. So we just need to rotate it this way. And then we'll rotate it this way as well. So we actually need 2 of these screens, and I'm going to show you why we need 2. But the 2 of these wooden pieces, I should say, and I'm going to tell you why. So basically, the screens sit between those wooden pieces. That's why we need 2 of them. So if we just place the first one like so. Now, the reason I use a 4-meter board will become apparent in a moment when we start placing the screens on, but you do actually need the longer piece. If you were to use the 2-meter piece, then you'd have to use 4 of them, and then they'd overlap, and then you can get some issues there. But because this is going to be sitting on the floor anyway, we can get away with it. So for now, we're just going to place that one there, and we're just going to place another one. We're just going to leave a bit of a gap, and then we're going to place another one. We'll be able to mess around with the gap in a moment once we start looking at the screens a bit more in a moment. So let's just place those 2 there. Now I'm just going to leave everything in its generic color to start with, and we can mess around with the colors in a moment. Now you can use whatever colors you want, as long as the pieces are obviously flexi color. You can use whatever colors you want, ladies and gents, so feel free to go wild. And also as well, remember, I know we're building this item together, but feel free, if you build this and you feel like you could add stuff onto it, to add stuff onto it. End of the day, this game's all about creativity, and the sky is the limit. So that's the first 3 pieces that we've put in place. Now, the next thing that I do where this build is concerned is I will put the screen on here, and there's a good reason for this. The screen actually isn't central in the build, it just sits off to the side, and this is just because of the way I designed my custom image that sits on the item. So we'll go to our facilities tab. As you can see, I'm already on here because I've been prepping this. Now the 1 meter screen comes in lit and it comes in normal, and it's really up to you which one you want to go with. I'm actually going to go with a lit screen in this because I think it might show it off a bit better. Now we're just going to take the screen up a little bit. To about here. We'll leave a bit of a base on the bottom. We're just going to flip this screen around, and I'm going to put it here initially, and there's a good reason for this, and it's because I need to get it lined up. I need to get this piece of wood behind lined up with the artwork. Now, if like I've already said, I've done a tutorial on how to do the custom screens and how to put your custom artwork and stuff on it, so I'm not going to go through it, but obviously you click on your screen, you go to your custom media, and we're going to be using this info board 1 and 2. That's what we're going to use. And so the bottom, we actually need 2. And this is one of the reasons why I do this as well, because the screens are never the right way up. And so you always need to get your image on there to start with. So we'll press OK. We'll come off of that. And we'll click on the screen. X. And let's X again, then takes you to this. And then we rotate. So now, as you can see, this is the point I was making about this screen. It isn't central. So what you do need to do is just take this over, and then this line here that I've created, that just needs to sit to the edge there. So we get to see all of our otter, but as you can see, then there's a band of colour in the middle, and then that's where the rest of it comes in. So that's why I've designed it this way, so we know where the edge of the piece of wood needs to belong. So now we've lined it up, we could probably go in a little bit more. As you can see, now we've lined it up, we take it back and we just sit it behind this piece of wood here. So it's going to sit between the 2 pieces. Now you're going to see that we have a little bit of an overlap at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just take the back piece, we're just going to take it back, and there, that's We don't want any gaps. We just want a tiny, tiny piece. And there we go. We're just going to overlap it. Now, if we were to select these 3 pieces now, we can get it central. But it should be central because we've designed it properly from the beginning. As you've seen, I clicked on this, and that's how we get our central point. So that's actually all good. But what we are going to have to do is raise these 2 wooden pieces up in a moment because we are going to be using a second screen. So just click on your screen. So just for those that don't know, because it's very difficult for me to do this let's build, because I'm trying to tutor you as well as build it myself. But if you click on the screen and you press Control X, it will duplicate it, and then you can just go up. So basically we just need to get these just touching, because we don't want any clipping. So there we go, just touching. You click on there to press OK. We come away and then we click on this, and now we need to select info board 1. There we go, lovely job. And if I just zoom in just to make sure it's all lined up, because the ends of these E's are just off, they are. So now I know how far up these 2 wooden pieces need to go on our board. Or do we take the screens down? It's entirely up to you. I'm obviously building this how I've shown you the piece that I showed you at the beginning. So if we click the front and the back, we can now click on this and we can just take it up, and it sits just above the screens, ladies and gents. Press OK, and hey presto, you are done. Now we come to, so that's basically the bog standard part of the build. Okay, that's the main part of this build. Now, if you wanted to replicate this on the back, what I would suggest is you just select it all. Oh, have I built this? No, I haven't. Right, just select it all, press X again, and just rotate it round. You wouldn't need to do this, the rotating it round. You could just go round the back, but I'm going to rotate it round because it's easier for me to do it that way. Click on the screen, Control X, it'll duplicate your item again, then press X again, and what you want to do is just rotate this screen like so. So it's looking the other way. Press X, and then you're going to have to bring it forward just a touch, basically, ladies and gents. Now, I would suggest doing the same top and bottom, but if you do, it won't rotate it the way you want it to. So the best way to do this is to just go down and line it up again. And then on this one, click on here and go info board 2, press OK, and it's all lined up and it's looking pretty good. So now your image is replicated, front and back. Now the problem that you've got is the image won't line up properly. So what you need to do when you're creating custom boards, if you want to do it this way, is you actually need to create this image again, but you just need to reverse it, and you'll see what I mean now. So if I click on this one, if I go to info board 4, you'll see it's now reversed and it all lines up perfectly, and it's just because of the way that I've created it. Obviously, I go into more information about this in my how-to video, which I linked earlier in the episode and that I've mentioned a couple of times. But there you go. Essentially, that's that. That's the main nuts and bolts of this item done. So the bit you do next is you do your detailing next, ladies and gents. And for me, the detailing on any item is always the most exciting part. So just to kind of make sure that the bottoms of the images, are capped off nicely, we are going to use this piece of wood that I mentioned before, which is the DanXG plank fin painted 1 meter. So if we click on one of the screens, we press X, if we go to construction, and we'll find that image, the fin painted. As you can see, I've got lots of favourite pieces, and I would suggest if you use a lot of pieces, make them favourites because they're far easier to find. So if we click on the 1 meter piece, you'll see it's the exact length that we want it. Now, the thing is we want to rotate this because we want it to sit on the bottom of the image. So we come down and we literally just take this to the bottom, like so. And if you just kind of center it up, it will be central to both top and bottom. And then we want to take that all the way to the top and do the same thing up there as well. So that's that done. And then the other piece of detailing involves the Planet Zoo sign bracket. So if you click on your red piece and then you find that sign bracket. It's this piece here. You want to go top and bottom, and basically all these are doing is they're kind of representing like little like screws or nails or notches, and it just gives it a bit more of an element of detail. We just need to rotate it so that it is central to the piece of wood. We'll do the front first, and then we'll sort the back out as well, because you need to put notches both sides, and then you just sink this item in like so. And if you've done it correctly, it should, the back of the item should sit inside this piece of wood, and it is doing that. So there's your notches at the top, and then you just want your notches at the bottom as well. And then we're going to flip this around like so, and then we'll do the same on the back. But what we'll do is, instead of going up, we'll actually click on this one here, just so we make sure we get the same points. So it all lines up, the symmetry's there, and we'll just sink that in. And hey presto, you are done. And that is the nuts and bolts of these boards. They're not very difficult to build at all, are they, ladies and gents? So the next thing you've got to do is just the exciting part, really, and it's the colours. The brace at the bottom, I'm going to go for more of a metallic colour, so we'll just lighten it up ever slightly. And then these boards, let's go with this colour here. That's quite a nice little colour. It's a colour I've obviously been using recently. And then we'll click on this one here, and we'll go with maybe a darker tone. Maybe a dark, bit more brown and a bit of a darker tone. We'll press OK, and there you go, my friends. You've done it. You've built it. And it really is that simple to build these little wayfinders and these information posts. We've built it together. I'm hoping and praying that the way we've done it together is helpful enough. I know the whole Control X thing, I was trying to sort of explain that as we were going along. One thing that I should have said as well is always kind of click on the pieces that you're using. It will keep it all together in one group, and also it will just keep everything central. So if obviously we've got this post highlighted, if I was to press Control then X together, that post will be there, look, central straight away. And then from X again, you can then start messing around with it the best way you want to, basically, ladies and gents. It's honestly the best way to do it. This is off center. It's something slightly different, and I've got plenty of these sorts of things. So if you want me to do more of these and we build them together again, then we can't we, ladies and gents? So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to bring the one over that we've built from. Let's see how close I actually got it. Well, I'll tell you something now, ladies and gents. Not bad. Pretty close. I will say one thing though. I've shown you how to do the bottoms wrong, haven't I? Because I've done it different here. But it just shows you can do it either way, and it still looks nice, and it will still look complete. This one's a little higher, but you know, that's to be expected. I wasn't using the little archer as a size comparison or whatnot, but these are the things that you will change these things as you go along. This one I actually quite like because we've done a bit more, at the top, but it is pretty close. It is pretty close, ladies and gents. So yeah, this is one of my information boards. Like I say, I've not added it to the workshop because I thought I'd rather teach people how to build these things than rather just put them on there and let people download them at will. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this. The comment section is open for your suggestions on the next Let's Build we do together. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's sign out. And so there you have it, my friends. That's our very first Let's Build Together. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you've made of it. And also, my friends, let me know what you would like to see next. Obviously, I would like to make this a bit of a running series. We've got how-to. I mentioned that during the course of today's episode. That's more of a hints and tips rather than a tutorial build-along sort of thing. But they go hand in hand. And, I've noticed that the how-to stuff's been doing really well. People have been asking me to show them how to build certain things, and I think maybe some standalone videos would help that process a bit more. So if there's anything you'd like to build along with me in future, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try my hardest to bring it to you, my friends. Obviously, be realistic about it. I'm not going to be building a whole elephant habitat with you because that's, you know, days work. But if you've got some stuff you'd like to see, feel free to let me know. If you're new to the channel, my friends, please consider subscribing. It's very much appreciated by me, and it's the best way to support the channel. Drop a like on the video as well. More likes we get, the more chance I've got of more people in this fantastic community seeing my little pocket of the internet. But my friends, I am done and dusted. As I always say, stay safe, stay humble, and I'll see you on the next one.